We all hide behind a mask.
Hey guys, Midnight here. So it's only 2 days left into this season, and it was a while since I did my last deck guide videos, so I thought I'll just share the deck I'm currently using to stay in the top 50s. We're talking about the Agents of the Sigillite, the newest addition to the game, the new faction, namely their rare warlord Iota. So what are the agents about? They don't bring any new mechanics, their only gimmick are the seals. The seals are really powerful and cheap tactics, but you have to generate them first, you have many ways, and then obviously draw them from your deck first, because they will always be put into your deck. So what are the seals? You, as mentioned, just got cheap tactics, they all cost 3. But they come with very powerful effects. For example, you got one which deals 3 damage to all enemies and jams all enemies' troops. This is basically a call with a jam for only 3 energy. Or you got a McRag Zoner, again for only 3 energy. Then what's it called? Irresistible Charisma for only 3 energy. Well, you got the idea. So they are basically very powerful effects for only 3 energy cost, with the condition that first of all you have to generate them, you have many ways for it, and second of all you have to draw it from your deck first. So, how do you build around the agents? My first take on them was to build a very tactic heavy deck with a lot of cycle, so Licticio Divinalis, Void Engagement, Arbor Sliders, Abandoned Supplies, maybe basically draw, a lot of seal generation. And my idea was to basically generate seals, draw them all from my deck, and then finish the game off with them. That didn't work that well. I had merely a 50% win rate or something with that idea, simply because you sometimes draw all those seals, you sometimes generate the right ones, and then you simply win. But if you're not doing anything besides that, besides drawing and generating seals, the board state is looking bad, so it was a little bit inconsistent. So I rewinded that approach. I went with a very low tactic deck and just cards which fish for tactics like Council Informant and Command Bridge. So I generate seals, and then with Council Informant and Command Bridge I have only few options I can choose from, and a very high chance to hit that seal with the Command Bridge or the Council Informant. It didn't work that well either, simply because I was simply because I was missing some key tactics. So, this is the final result. This is a deck that's been working really nicely for me. I am currently floating in the 30s with it, yeah, I'm rank 31 with it. It works really good. It doesn't have any really bad matchups, but also, well, not really good matchups. I didn't play it that much yet, so it might see some change. But as mentioned, this is the version which worked for me really well. So what's the idea of the deck? Well, we still have seal generation. We have stuff like classified assignment, the Space Wolf Dude, and the Aesthetic Hell, so 5 cards which can generate seals or potentially generate seals. A couple of cards which can fish for them, like Command Bridge and Council Informant. But our main gimmick is to Sigilize Chosen. This is a really powerful buff. It basically mounts an Epistolar Arrestor on top of one of your troops. And we have a couple really good targets for the troops. Stealth Dudes and Water Dudes. Dudes who get buffed if you play Tactics, and so on. You got the idea. And besides that, you're simply playing a good, valuable troops, the troops I found which work really well from the agents in the current meta. So yeah, let's go ahead with the cards and I'll explain some gimmicks. So first our Warlord, Iota. She's basically a better Samus. I was really surprised to see that. Samus does the same for 2 energy what she does, and the damage part only does 2 damage. So okay, why not? Really good. High initiative, only 30 HP, but it's not that of a big deal. I really like her. This enables a very flexible playstyle. Her first part basically controls the board. She can prevent something from attacking into something valuable that you have on your board or onto yourself. The second part is 3 damage for 1 energy from a Warlord. That is great. So yeah, first card, Command Bridge. This is, I think, really vital for the agents simply because of those seals. This allows us to fish for the seals from our deck. It is a good card in many decks, but for the agents, as mentioned, I think you need this card. You also, if you don't have any seals in your deck, since we don't have that much seal generation, you won't to fish for the Sigilized Chosen because it is one of our win cons, or simply a card you need in the situation you're currently in. And next up is Arveslighter. The flexibility of this card is really good here. The first part is recycle for your deck. So you thin out your deck, you have a higher chance to draw the seal you want. The second part is refill to energy. This is also really good here, simply that 1 additional energy can help us use Iota's ability again, which is only 1 energy. And you will see we have really a lot of troops which have 1 energy abilities here. We have Cal, we have 2 30 kilos, we have a Council Informant, Mishan, and that additional energy basically gives you an additional action this turn. And the last part is always, if there's a tough situation, feel free to heal 2 to your Warlord to prevent it from dying. Next up is Council Informant. This is basically Command Bridge, the troop. It works really well with Iota, I think, because Iota can, if it's turn 1, use her ability and prevent the enemy Warlord into attacking into it. So it will very likely survive the turn and maybe even the following turn, so you can use her ability at least once or twice. And her ability is basically another command bridge, which I already mentioned is really good here to fish for example, Sigilized Chosen or the seals you got in your deck. So yeah, 2 B would be a little bit awkward, I think, but a one-off really good addition here, I think. Then our seal generation, classified assignment. So you get to choose a seal, so you're basically shown 3 options and you choose one and it gets shuffled into your deck, and then you draw a card. So the card cycles itself really good. And the seals you want to choose, just a tip from me. So let me just check the seals real quick again. Really good seals are, again, McCrack's Honor. This is the most reliable one to finish off the game, for example, or to heal yourself in a tough situation. This is really good against troop heavy deck, against swarm decks, so there you want to choose this. Or against stuff like Desperate Defense, or decks which you know run a higher curve or very big troops, want Secret of Unification. The other 2 seals, this one is not that great. The secondary effect only works if you bounce your own troop. If you bounce an enemy troop, it's basically a worse inescapable cell. And the other one, we don't run that much late game in our deck. I wasn't able to use it effectively yet. I guess you could play a Biarki for it, like for 4 reduced energy, but you need to draw it first, so usually it doesn't come into play. Then we have Mishan. Well, not much to explain here. If you watch my review video, I already said that she's going to be busted, and she is. It's your best turn 1 play. Transform her into something big and enjoy the game. Like, if you want to have a really detailed explanation of this card, check my real video about it. Then we have Ambassador Melgator. Always nice to have. I usually run him in decks where he has a secondary use, where you can basically bounce your own stuff, and here it is the case. For example, best target for it is Covert Operative. He is a very strong rally. So if you play Covert Operative and his rally triggers, so your opponent played the card you choose, you can follow up with Ambassador Melgator, like attack with it first, then follow up with Ambassador Melgator and bounce him back to your hand to reuse him again. I really like it here. And besides that gimmick with Covert Operative, he always comes in handy. So yeah, Covert Operative, 3 energies to 3 stealth, really good and a very powerful rally. So if you play him on curve, and you went first, you want to choose something that your opponent is very likely to play. So let's say you play against a knight, you went first obviously because all knights have a maximum of medium initiative. And you see a battle cannon in their hand, you obviously choose it. And your opponent is on 3 energy, he plays the battle cannon. His Warlord gets dealt 5 damage, and also the battle cannon gets dealt 5 damage. I really like it, very powerful rally. And the Covert Operative is also a prime target for our Sigilized Chosen, simply because he's 3 energy and Sigilized Chosen is 4 energy. So he stays on the board, he is stealthed, so very likely. You follow up with Sigilized Chosen and you got a 6-6 with Survivor 3, what it is here, 6-6 with Survivor 3 on turn 3. So very good card here, running 2 copies. And next up we have the yearly Oh god, don't make me pronounce it. Okay, I'll try. Ulicidatum Teleman. Ulicidatum Teleman. Okay. This is a lesser of a section on roids. You already see the lesser of a section a lot, and this one also draws you a card if something dies from the 1 damage it does. So I didn't see any reason not to include it. Really good vanilla card. I love it. 2 copies. Healer. The Saint Lady. Euphrates Healer, I guess. I'll just call her Saint Lady because I'm not sure how to pronounce her name correctly again. She gives adjacent units frontlines, so also your Warlord. You can protect your troops from being attacked. Awesome card. If you play her on curve and then follow up with a Covert Operative, you can buff it to a 4/4 by using the 1 energy ability. And again, you want to keep your Warlord frontlined first, so this will be your troops will be protected from flanks and Warlord's attacks. I really like it. It's not as busted as in the event. Usually your opponent will have the tools to respond to it. In the late game you can also, like, when you place it left to your Warlord, let's say, and all the other troops to the right, so only your Warlord will have frontline. And in the late game you can, for example, play Bodvar Bjarki to your left, so that he gets frontline and not your Warlord and not your other troops anymore. So you have to plan a bit ahead with the positioning here, but still, if she's not dealt with, she can snowball out of control if you keep buffing your troops with it. I really like her, so 2 copies, very good tech card, very good troop, and usually annoyance and a prime target for your opponent's removals. Reform a network, not much to say here, you will see this in almost every deck. The 2-go anti-stealth tag deal 2 damage to all and they lose stealth. Then we got Jubek Starsight. He works really well here in my opinion, simply because you can make him survive better. First of all, you can hide him behind Keeler, or behind yourself, since Keeler gives your Warlord frontline, for example. And also if you play him on 4 energy without anything on the board, you can use Iota's ability, the first part, to give the enemy Warlord kind of attack so that he can't smack into it and has to deal 3 damage in any other way. That's why as you see him, he works really well, because he's a valuable troop which you want to hide behind front lines, or as mentioned with Iota's ability. Melkador's Sigil. So I wanted to have some defensive options in this deck, and this is my to-go card for it. Simply because it's good value for 3 energy, and it helps a lot against stuff like Perturabo, who usually melts 30 HP Warlords. If he wants to pop your shield, he will have to use something else except his ability, because Perturabo's gimmick is his super strong ability and other high damage cards. And this heals you for 3 first of all, and then mitigates one of those instances of damage. If you're not playing against something aggressive, you can also heal something big from your own which is damaged. I really like to, if you, for example, attacked with your Covert Operative the turn before, who is buffed by Sigilized Chosen, then you attack with him again, just use it on him. He will be healed for 3 and gets additionally a shield to his survival 3. So a versatile card which helped me in many situations. I really like it. Next off, the Vindicar Assassin, Aristatical. Only 1 copy here because I found his usage kinda awkward sometimes. He's only 4 energy and I don't run that many 4 energy cards. So you have to play him, then he has to survive, he has only 3 health for 4. And then you have to use his ability, he loses his stealth. He needs much around him to be really effective, but still 5 damage for only 1 energy is great. And he also generates a seal. This is basically the Raven Guard troop, which costs 1 more and does the same for 1 more energy and doesn't generate seals. So a power creeped Raven Guard version of that card, which is already good. Very good troop, don't get me wrong, but only 1 copy because, as mentioned, he's sometimes a bit awkward to use in my opinion. Then we got Sigilized Chosen. One of the win cons for this deck. As mentioned, this mounts an Epistolary Rest on one of your existing troops. We have a lot of targets, you can even use it on Broad Tiffinger. The best tempo play, as I mentioned, if you have it in your hand on turn 3 and play a Covert Operative on turn 2, just use it on him and you get a 6/6 with Survivor 3 on turn 3. Other very good targets are Promeus, simply because he gets buffed additionally when you play Tactic, and Sigilized Chosen is a Tactic. Even Broad Tiffinger is fine. Then Ganymus, he's stealthed and got Terror, the buff works on him really well. And of course Bodvar Bjarki, because he has Ward, and then your opponent will have to put up the really big weapons to remove something which has Survivor, Ward, and big stats as Bodvar Bjarki after being buffed by Sigilized Chosen. Okay, next up we got Broad Tiffinger the Space Wolf dude. Very good body, 3-5, so 4 energy worth of stats. A rally which deals 3 damage, also very good. And if the target dies, you get a seal in your deck, so another seal generator. This is just a very valuable troop, just like the Telemen, I guess is the plural. Yeah, I like him, not much to say here. Try to kill something with the 3 damage. For example, if you're on 6 energy and got Iota's ability charged up, you can play him and use Iota's ability, so it's 6 damage and you get a 3-5 on the board. Really good, I like it. Sword of Truth, another legendary. So this is a mix between Miatis Cruiser and War Monster's Seed. Usually I don't want to remove something with it, simply because it's 5 energy. But it's a good finisher, actually. I usually use it on the enemy warlord, indeed. But of course you feel free to use it on any troop. For example, I don't know, if the Thousand Suns play something like this apothecary guy, I don't remember the name, but the 3-5 of Precognition, which keeps healing for psychic energy. Really annoying if it stays on the board, so this is the perfect answer. Really good card, 5 damage for 5 is fair. The secondary effect is, as mentioned, not that important, but it can come in handy, and it can also be used on the enemy warlord's face, so a good finisher. Next up we got Defense Satellites. I wanted to have some AoE in the deck, we don't have any yet, so besides Informant Network, but that's anti-stealth and only 1 damage. So Defense Satellites is the AoE of my choice here. I didn't want to run Volcanic Instability simply because we were running a pretty troop heavy deck and want to have a board on your own, and I don't want to damage my own stuff, so Defense Satellites it is. Prometheus, it's just an okay troop in the 5 spot. I don't find him too strong, we don't run that many tactics. Of course, if you got all the cheap stuff in your hand and play him and then can fill up with like 2 Arbor Sliders into Command Bridge into Classified Assignment or something, he will obviously grow to huge proportions, but that doesn't happen too much. He's just a good target for Sigilized Chosen again. He gets Precognition the turn he's played, so he can't be flanked. What doesn't make him that great is his 4 attacks, so if you don't buff him the turn you play him, he's likely to get Negatort, which is very sad. But yeah, a good troop, not too shabby, not overpowered, but also not bad. Next up, Ganimus. Our 6-drop. I really like this guy from the event. He will usually stick a turn, 5 health, stealth is pretty good defensively, and he will grow every turn, so you can hold him back for a huge finishing blow. You can buff him up with Sigilized Chosen to make him even bigger and more dangerous. He will usually trade upwards, so if he's on the board, doesn't get removed, your opponent plays something. He will be a 6-6 with Terror, so very likely that he won't get retaliation damage from the attack he does, and then your opponent will have to deal with him when he's unstealthed, which is usually a 2-for-1 trade. I really like him, and as mentioned, a very good target for our Sigilite buff. And the last card here is Bodvar Bjarki. He's a 6-7 with Ward, which is already great, so he will have to be removed by attacks or by random damage. Again, if you buff him with Sigilized Chosen, he will be 9-10 with Survivor 3 and Ward. So good luck dealing with that. You will need like the really big weapons like the Conqueror or the Great Tithe to deal with that. I don't think any flanker can deal with it. And also, if his rally triggers, he will be in 11-12 with Ward. So yeah, only like hard AoE removal can work with Bodvar Bjarki. I can deal with Bodvar Bjarki if he is that pumped up. Really good troop. Also, if you got your free tequila, and as mentioned, you play Bodvar next to your free tequila, he will also get frontline, and your opponent will have trouble getting behind past this guy. So yeah, that's the deck, but as usual, some cards which can work in this deck pretty nicely in my opinion. First of all, New Loyalty. It's a cheap tactic, for example, to use for Prometheus. And on high initiative it's good, we are more likely to go first, and if we choose something valuable from the opponent, we can play ahead of him, and we all know how annoying it is to deal with your own stuff if it is played before you. Next we got Gaze of the Regent. It's good value card to energy to damage and counter attack to a target. If you pair it with Iota's ability here, you can immobilize something for 3 whole turns. So use Iota's ability, next turn use Gaze of the Regent, and Iota's ability, next turn use Iota's ability again, so something potentially can attack for 3 turns. Not that bad. Reviel Arvida. We got some cheap tactics. I got to work him a couple times, but usually he will get hard removed. He doesn't have ward like Budva Bjarki, and he's already in our 7 energy spot. But still, if he is left on the board unchecked and you got a couple tactics in your hand, can be pretty devastating. Going with that theme, we got Escape Vent. We have really many value troops, as you saw, and I think this goes well here. So, like, best example again, Ganymus. You play Ganymus, wait till next turn, attack with Ganymus, stealth him up again, for example. Or Arvida, which I said you could include. You play Arvida and give him Escape Vent, Arvida deals 1 damage to all, and next turn you go bonkers with his ability because you play a lot of cheap tactics and deal like 5 damage to the enemy's board. So I think it could work here, but in a slightly different deck build. So next off, we got P Alpha. You can play it instead of Melkador Sigil if you want less tactics for your deck to fish for the seals easier. This also removes stuns, so it's up to you to decide if you want to run Melkador Sigil or P Alpha. Then we got Lecticio Divinatus. It's a cheap spell and it draws cards from our deck. And we want to draw cards from our deck because of the seals. Then, at last but not least, we got Kaiserlin and Lord Malkiel, the good and neutral legendaries. They are good here because you can hide Malkiel behind Keeler, for example. You can buff them with Keeler so they are more likely to be to stay alive. They pair well with Iota's ability. So, yeah, good inclusions. Maybe you can find a spot to them. I didn't find it in my deck. It works well as it does now, and I didn't want any more active ability troops here. But still, as mentioned, good additions. So, this is the deck. Some cards you could include if you don't like my version that much. Maybe you can come up with something else. But without further ado, let's jump, as usual, into some high-level gameplay. Branson. Okay, we got Sigilized Chosen. I might want to keep it, because often so far I have trouble dealing with that. I still need a troop though, but we might draw it sooner or later. Great mulligan, thank you.
We have a mission.
Jesus Christ. Drawing a card here, obviously. And more removal. Yeah, that sucks. Jubek Starsight. He will die. So I might want to play him next turn. So that he can't attack into it. I'm just gonna use my ability here. Because next turn I'll be able to... Yep, he doesn't do anything. He has counter attack in hand. And I don't want him to attack into it. E Alpha. Okay, not that great. Brandon F. Fine. Okay. He just buffs himself again. So, what are my options? I could play Keeler. But that will die, so I will probably just Sigilize Chosen it here. And go face. Run him down a bit. Fishing Claw, not bad. Getting nice value from the Jubek here. Next turn I can play P Alpha to heal it. Alongside with Keeler maybe. Yeah, that sounds good. Like, play the P Alpha here, Keeler on this side so I get frontline. It's very likely though that he will be able to deal with that. Yeah, looks like it. So he shoots it. That doesn't kill it. Good for us. So I heal it. Give myself frontline. And attack twice. So next turn I can already play Bjarki. But I want to use Keeler's ability a bit here. We'll also keep Sword of Truth for the last chunk of his health, the Survivor 5, to kill him off. He got a lot of damage in hand. Fortunately everything high cost, but still looking good. He also has 2 prime targets now to kill. Probably Keeler over Jubek Starsight. But he decides to go this way. I'm fine with that. Shoots Keeler. And passes the turn. I'm fine with that. So as mentioned, I'm not gonna play Bjarki here yet. First I want to draw a card. And we got Malkador's Sigil, not that good. So I'm gonna play the Turfinger dude. And buff my stuff up. And attack. We keep on grinding, boys. Holy crap. So will he just shoot it again? Okay. Now let's command bridge first. Classified assignment. Another command bridge doesn't do much here. Pick the other command bridge, I guess. Play Bjarki. I say he's gonna play Doombringers, I guess. Or Marauders. I think he's gonna play Marauders. Yeah, that's more likely. Okay. So he can attack into it and transform, but I'm fine with that. Like, play Doombringer, attack with these two, and it's gone. But if he plays Doombringer, he won't be able to use his Reckoning, or whatever it's what's called, Dreadnought Interment, right. So, yeah. I don't know how he wants to deal with Bjarki. Here's the Marauder. Oh! But not the one I chose, that's annoying. Well, but that's it for Uli Bro. We smack him. And sort of true for the finish. GG. Lion. Kilo is great. The other two not so great.
We all hide
That looks good.
behind the mask.
This will be momentous.
Now let's draw a card. Oh, another one. And let's actually smack him. A double Kilo. This can be pretty interesting. So, Kilo. I'll go aggressive here. I don't want him to get to 10 energy, basically. Here's the belt, okay. And drilling sight into what? Okay, just his ability. So I'll play another Kilo. And we'll start buffing our troops. Okay. I'm okay with that. Doesn't do that much. Fine. Shouldn't he draw him before he did that? So back. That was stupid. Bad placement from me, whatever. Do that. Give count attack. And I'm gonna smack with this one. And yeah. Ooh, Rainio. That's great. That's very good. Sabotage again. He runs 2 sabotages. That's probably because of the agents. So I'm gonna do that. And Gryffindor for 3 damage. Pass the turn here. I don't want him to get a free Eschaton Imperative. That would be really nasty. He used both his sabotages already, so here comes the Sigilized Chosen, I guess. Smack that one. And Saber, I guess. You just go face here. I'm quite certain he will play this Saber. I can kill it pretty easily though. Yep. There's the Saber. Alright, so 4 damage. 1 damage, draw a card. Romius. And we'll just go full face here. Yeah. I'm not sure what he can do here. Like play these guys. Yeah. So I got 3, 4. I just need to deal 4 damage to it somehow. And that's that, I guess. Dormant Network. Gryffindor. And smack him for the win.
The Legion is on.
GG, Lion. Horus. Gonna keep the Tallyman. He can come in handy. Burn is a really bad matchup. Sigilized Chosen.
The road to Terra is open.
And I aim to close it.
Okay, so yeah, that's a really bad. I'm getting this one, I guess. And pass the turn. Don't want to play the Tallyman. Probably. Want him to buff next turn if he stays alive. Ouch. My man draws a lot of cards. Okay. Good that I played the Tallyman, because now we can buff him up as mentioned. And keep smacking. I don't want to buff him again, probably. Because next turn he got outflank. Yeah, he just tries to burn me down, I guess. That's fine. I'm just gonna play a Tempo Brawl here, probably. Yeah. So, what you got, Horus? Yeah, that's quite annoying. So what we do? Healer here. You attack here. You attack here. And Telemann. That sounds reasonable. Got a lot of buff targets for next turn. I'd like to see my Iota sigil sooner or later. Ouch. Ouch. And quickfire, okay. Another quickfire. Okay, man. I could just play Bjarki and trade. Yeah, that sounds reasonable. He's probably gonna play this one. I don't like that they show me whispers constantly, it's so annoying. So that's the right trade, I guess. Yeah. Resupply. Could have guessed it right. Ah. Okay. Oh, Malkados sigil is great. So I'm at 10, 15. One off. Too bad. Or am I? Yeah, I can't play both. So just gonna sigilize Chosen again. Smack him. Give counter attack and heal myself. So I don't think there's a way he can kill me now. Billing site. Okay. Honorable Sudoku. Honorable Seppuku. Sudoku. Whatever. Good game. It was a clutch. What's it called?
It has come to
Malkados sigil. But he probably wouldn't be able to kill me anyway. Looking good. Rank 34. We get some good games today. Lost one to a knight, to a Karin, and a mirror, but I got it later and again. Okay, that were the games for today. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more deck guides and event gameplay, feel free to check out my channel. I'm uploading a couple times a week. Also, if you have any requests for me to build a deck around your favorite warlord or something you couldn't make work on a ladder, just let me know in the comments. I'm taking community requests and I'm then gonna build a deck for your warlord and try it out on ladder. I hope to see you then, and till then, good night, out.